I'm Corbitt with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, November the 18th, brought to you in part by VITALIX. VITALIX has livestock tubs to meet your every need. You can increase feed efficiency, average daily gain, and weaning weight. You can improve your conception rates and overall herd health, and decrease feed costs. VITALIX wants feeder flash gang members to have a chance to win free tubs. If you're watching this on NationalBeefWire, go to the VITALIX ad that's right next to this video, click on it, and you get information on how you can win. If you're watching this on YouTube, go down into the description and click on VITALIX there, and you will see how you can have a chance to win free VITALIX tubs there. Get the blue tub, your cows will love you. For more information, go to vitalix.com. Also, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma, big sale here for their Tuesday calf and feeder sale. They've got 4,500 head on offer, have about 2,400 head of calves, most of them 4 to 6 weights, and about 40% of them weaned, so that's increasing every week a little bit. Some stick out deals. They've got 307 head coming from Booker, Texas. They're 70 days weaned. They've had 2 rounds on them, weighing mostly from 300 to 500 pounds. There are 3 colored calves, but the quality is really good on them. They've got 164 head of calves weighing 475 to 650. They will be all black, fanciest calves of the day, guys, and mostly all of them will be steers, so that'll be the thing to get. 182 coming from Memphis, Texas. They're right off the cow, weighing 400 to 600 pounds, and they've had all their shots. They're not going to have very many yearling heifers, only about 300 yearling heifers. There'll be no straight loads, just packages of yearling heifers, but we'll have over 2,000 head of yearling steers. The Ratcliffes are coming in with another 405 head of 9-weight steers from Forgan, Oklahoma there. They'll be coming in right off the grass, and the quality will be out of this world. 126 8 weights off the grass coming in, 458 head of 7 weights coming in off the grass from Miami, Texas. If you're looking for light yearling stockers, that will be the consignment to zero in on there. I got 184 head of 7 and 8 weight yearling steers from Hereford, Texas. I got another 128 7 and 8 weight yearling steers coming from Laverne, Oklahoma. So it'll be an excellent offering there. You can view and bid that sale at DVAuction.com. So check them out, Beaver County Stockyards. Newfound confidence. I don't know where it came from. Don't know if anybody does. I fully thought, as I told you if you were listening on the last visit, I fully thought the CME cattle futures would be locked, limit down for Monday after the announcement last Friday afternoon that Trump was taking all the reciprocal tariffs off of beef and some other food products included, but we're mostly concerned with the beef. It did initially go down hard. I mean, it looked like it was going right for the limit down, and then all of a sudden we found this support, and by mid-morning it had gained significantly, pretty impressive gains, and held on to them throughout the day. So, you know, nothing makes sense there, but we'll take it. We'll take that higher futures market on a Monday there. But, you know, it was interesting to try to see what maybe they were thinking, and by they, whoever was taking the long side of the CME cattle futures. It's got to be the funds. I mean, who else would be doing it? It's a shallow pool. It wouldn't have took a whole lot to get that thing gathered up and moving north. But what were they thinking? What was the reason why we saw them get on the long side, which, you know, they've been telling us for the last 3 or 4 weeks that all the funds were scared and they were getting out. What made them see an opportunity to get in? You know, was it indeed some early leaks of this story of Trump doing away with the reciprocal tariffs on beef? A lot of people said it was leaked last week, and that's what caused your board to be down big on Thursday of last week, and so it's already seen all that negativity, so they thought it was time to get in. Was it because the administration has been talking over the weekend, and everybody got to stew on this over the weekend, and hearing that they think that a hamburger, no matter what happens, hamburger is going to go to $10 a pound, because somebody come in and said, hey, look out, they're keeping heifers back, and we are keeping heifers back. Everybody's been saying here since this market's really got good, nobody's keeping heifers back. People are keeping heifers back, guys. Your heifer offerings in your sale barns up in Nebraska and South Dakotas are exceedingly big on the steer side. Some sales, feeder sales and calf sales, are only seeing 20 to 30% heifers. Yes, they're keeping heifers back. We've got people that's got heifers that they bred, they've got ready to sell them. There's going to be a lot of bred heifers available starting now through the end of the year, because they expect a lot of cattle producers are going to have money they want to spend that they've made rather than to give to the government. So they're thinking that they'll be getting in, and they probably will be getting in on some of these bred heifers, and there's going to be a world of them offered starting now through the end of the year, guys. What else is it? What else could it have been? The cattle on feed report is coming out late this week. We didn't have a cattle on feed last month, so we'll probably get the results of that. And folks are expecting those to be very bullish. So maybe that's something that we're looking at. Maybe it's talk that Monday we heard that Trump is not very happy with Mexico, as he's having this war on drugs, and he's contemplating sending troops down in there to fight the cartel some on this drug deal, and for whatever reason he's not really happy with Mexico and their involvement of that, or lack thereof, probably. But I tell you what, the cartel might be tougher than any guerrilla warfare they could do out there. But if Trump's not particularly happy with Mexico, it could put off the opening of the Mexican border to cattle imports coming in. He's been known to do that kind of stuff. Whatever the reason, the board wasn't locked down the limit on Monday. I was relieved. Everybody else I talked to was relieved. Nobody could believe that it wasn't. But we got through it. So go on through the rest of the week. There'll probably be other things that come in and affect our cattle markets as we go forward. Let's talk about Cattlemen's Insurance Agency. That is Brandon Reeves, the head of the Virginia Cattlemen's Association. Him and his team there in Virginia, they are offering up LRP and PRF policies for you guys that want to get risk protection on your cattle, or you want to get drought protection too. Get a hold of them, especially if you're out east there, guys. That they're living right there with you. They know what's going on. You guys speak the same language. Tell you what, it was founded by cattlemen to serve cattlemen. The Cattlemen's Insurance Agency. For more information, go to insurance@vacattlemen.org. Also, Punchy Pick of the Month contest. Hell, we're already over halfway through this month. It'll be coming up here before long, guys. Couldn't do it without our sponsors, Great Plains Livestock Consulting. Get a hold of them if you would like someone just to bounce things off of, whether it comes to managing your risk, buying your feedstuffs, when to sell, how to handle your herd, whether you're cow-calf or stocker operation, or even feeding cattle. Get a hold of them at Great Plains Livestock Consulting. Beaver County Stockyards, of course, has been with us from the beginning of the Punchy Pick of the Month contest. They're a big help. And then, of course, Fairpiece, that revolutionary product that is scientifically proven. They're donating a whole case of Fairpiece to the Punchy Pick a winner every month, guys. So if you get a pick, or if it's in the kids' corral, either way, just email that pick to punchy@nationalbeefwire.com. Tell us a little bit about what's going on and who you are, guys. Let's talk about your board on Monday. December live cattle futures were up 212 at 221.27. February was up 225 at 221.77. Your back months of live cattle were up 2 1/4 to up 285. Maybe it did it just to spite me. That's fine. You know, this summer when it gets dry, I'll wash my pickup every day. I'm perfectly willing to do that. November feeder cattle up 117 at 339.85. January feeder cattle up 572 at 326.27. And your back months were up 375 to up 520. So huge gains on your feeder cattle after just initial drop off. Them went down a bunch, but then climbed their way back out of it. December corn futures up 4.5 cents a bushel, up 434 3/4. January beans up 27 1/4. As they're saying now, China is indeed going to live up to what they said they were going to do on purchasing soybeans from us. Up 27 1/4 at 1163 1/4. And hard red winter wheat for March up 13 3/4 at 544 3/4. Your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade direct basis out of your 5-area feeding region, 46,100 moved. That's a little bit on the light side compared to 61,550 the previous week and 58,600 the same week a year ago. Live sales of fat steers and heifers range from 218 to 230. That was $2 to $7 lower than the previous week. Weighted average on live steers ended at 225.06, down 391 from the previous week's weighted average. Dress sales range from 346 to 357. That was $8 to $9 lower, and your dress steer weighted average was 350.94, down 739. As a whole, your Southern Plains sold $2 to $4 lower at mostly 228. Northern Plains was $1 to $6 lower, live from 222 to 227. $5 to $10 lower dressed from mostly 350 to 355. Now nationwide they sold 55,300 compared to 79,200 the previous week and 74,100 the same week a year ago. Of that 55,300 they sold 9,550 of them were for the 2 to 4 week delivery. That was only 17% and not quite as much as usual. Negotiated grid sales totaled 29,000 head. Forward contracts written totaled 5,300 head. And formula sales, sweetheart deals there, 214,450 head. Of the 4 out of 5 areas that we get information from, Iowa sold 17,000 last week. Negotiated Nebraska sold 21,850. Kansas sold 4,900. And Texas only 2,250 head negotiated. Box beef cutout values were mixed on Monday. Choice cuts down 32 cents at 370.41. Selects up 206 at 356.30. Your slaughter for Monday was 116,000 estimated cattle slaughter. That's 3,000 more than last week. They're stepping it up a little bit. They know they're going to have big demand for this beef right during the holiday season when everybody's out and about and they got Christmas parties and things. So they've got to get some product around them. It was 3,000 more than last Monday, but 4,000 less than the same Monday a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Green Acres fence line feeders, guys. Tell you what, it's a good way to put in a section of fencing there and stop opening gates to feed your cattle. The unique design keeps the cattle where they're supposed to be. You can feed them along the outside and cuts way down on the waist. It doesn't get stuck in the mud and waste. The bottom there sticks up off the ground, so your feed's not in the mud. And it's really a good way to feed your cattle there. Do it efficiently there. If you're looking to buy some, tell them about you found this out on the feeder flash, or mention Corbitt Wall, and you will get a free flag whip with your purchase. Go to GAFeeders.com for your, let's look at your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance. They are working to protect your livelihood, guys. Your real-time index by DVAuction late in the day on Monday after your sales had all concluded, set at 339.34. That's based on an 800-pound cash auction steer. That was down $1.89 from the end of last week. Your steer tracker's right in line with that, so it's not going to move any more down or up here as long as things are like they are. Steer tracker, the last 25 lots of 5 head or more that go in were 339.52. Your latest ME cash feeder cattle index was 341.89. Let's look at your big sales. Oklahoma City, the national stockyards there had 6,500 head, and the market was unevenly steady. And that's a victory, guys. They did note that it was lower right off the bat. You can judge Oklahoma City and El Reno, several of those markets like that depend on the big corporate feeders to buy. It just goes right along with the board. I mean, they're just slaves to the board. So they saw it was lower right off the bat, but whenever the board come up there right in the middle of the morning, it came back and just pretty much unevenly steady all day. The best quote that I saw in Oklahoma City was out of National Livestock. They had 78 steers, weighed 774 and bring 362 there in Oklahoma City. Joplin Regional Stockyards had 8,500 head. Wild trend there. It was unevenly 10 lower to 10 higher on steers. Heifers, those weighing under 800 pounds there, were steady to $10 higher. Those weighing over 800 there were steady to $5 lower. Joplin was your Superior Steel Sales, home of Superior Standard Livestock Handling Equipment. Stick out sale of the day. You look at this automated market report through Cattle Market Central and follow along through me. Most all weights were well tested there in Joplin like usual. They had 487 head of the 4-weight steers, average 449 at 392.46. 879 head of the 5-weight steer calves, average 557 at 369.06. 1,013 head of the 6-weight steers, average 644 at 353.50. 997 head of the 7-weight steers, average 748 at 341.37. And 1,759 head of the 8-weight feeder steers at Joplin Regional Stockyards averaged 845 with a weighted average price of 328.52. Look at your heifers. They had 394 head of the 4-weight heifer calves, average 453 at 363.62. 679 head of the 5-weight heifers, average 546 at 338.58. There were 459 head of the 6-weights that averaged 633 at 326.41. 349 head of the 7-weight heifers averaged 752 at 316.41, and 392 head of the 8-weight feeder heifers, JRS, averaged 832 with a weighted average price of 298.06, and we're starting to see those twos come in on our heaviest heifers almost everywhere, guys. The most impressive quote that I saw anywhere out of Joplin Regional Stockyards on Monday was 302 steers weighed 802 and bring 360. That is way over your index level, guys. How about some other quotes from all around, individual quotes. Callaway Livestock Center in Kingdom City, Missouri had 120 steers weighed 889, bring 338.75. Impressive quote. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock up in Worthing, South Dakota sells 78 steers that weighed 821 at 348. Go up further, Rugby, North Dakota. Rugby Livestock sold 57 Pee-wee steers weighed 409 at 565. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Monday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Russell Livestock in Russell, Iowa. They sold 70 steers, weighed 809 at $3.59. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.